Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Fantasy Football Podcast. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia, and if you can believe it, boys and girls, this is our last mock draft of draft season. I know it's a little sad. We'll all shed a tear today, but look on the bright side, because now we are a step closer to real football that actually matters. But today we've got one more good draft in us. We've got a 10-teamer half PPR, and we've got an amazing guest with us, so buckle up, because we got one more time. We're going to go through this and give you all the picks to go ahead and dominate all your leagues. Today, joining me in the draft is the Oracle, Matthew Friedman, who's going to look into the future and tell us all what we did right and what we did wrong. So it's going to be like every other Thursday here. And also, Andrew Erickson is going to join us, bringing the big pot energy, supposedly for all of us, because we need it a little bit. We're dragging into the holiday weekend, but luckily we've got the voice of reason, Chris Raybon from Action Network, back again, because he was, so great a few weeks back when he was here. We had to bring him on for more wisdom. So it's great to see all of you. Plus, we've got some users from our Discord hanging out, some of the champions of our mock drafts in our Discord, which if you haven't already joined, please go over there and join it. It's amazing. And we're going to be drafting against them, which is always a challenge, because we've trained them so well. It's like our children. You're so proud when they go off to school, and that's what's going to happen today. We're going to see when they go to college just how smart they are. And of course, today we're going to be using our multi-user draft software on Draft Wizard. Now, if you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Head over to fantasypros.com/draftwizard, where you can run those draft simulators by yourself. But we've also got the mock draft lobby open for business, baby. There's so many mock drafts going on. You can go in there into a public mock draft and start to flex your muscles, start to train yourself a little bit, because we've only got a few weeks left to get ready. And I know most of you have a lot of drafts coming up this weekend and even next week too. So go to fantasypros.com/draftwizard and get going and start getting those drafts in. You need the reps. That's what Andrew Erickson keeps telling me. Just go heavy on the reps, light on the weights, and that's how I get shredded like Erickson. And today, of course, we're going to be on the YouTube channel. It's going live, as we like to do here. And make sure you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, youtube.com/fantasypros. Click that little bell till it goes ding, and then you can enjoy all the content. Make sure you like this here, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, we've got more than just the podcast. We've got the live streams. We've got incredible Sunday game day coverage coming at you too this year. Some new stuff. So you're going to want to be part of that, plus all the videos and everything else. So again, YouTube, Fantasy Pros, make it so. Subscribe today. All right, boys and girls, it is time. Let's go. We've got the big pod energy, who actually is beefy pod energy today at the 3 spot. We've got Matthew Freeman at 9. We've got me at the 10. And where are you? Chris Raybon hiding in the 6 spot. So Raybon, as I'm starting the draft here, tell me, was this all that was left, or do you strategically pick the 6 here?
I think 6 and 9 were left when I jumped on. So I don't like the back end as much this year. I think your chances of winning actually go down with each spot. So I jumped in 6.
All right, beefy pod energy. I can only assume there's a lot of hot dogs this weekend going for some Labor Day barbecues for you. Is that what you're anticipating, Erickson?
No, I'm just bringing the beef today. That's the move here. We needed some energy. Let's go.
Awesome. That's what we wanted. We wanted the beefcake here. We got him. We got AE with us. Matthew Friedman, you and I are going back to back here. Once again, you came late to the draft, so this is what you ended up with. How do you feel about that 9 pick?
It doesn't matter where I draft. My team is going to be just as bad. When you ignore ADP and you go after your guys, that's what ends up happening.
Well, that's the lesson, and we've kicked things off here. We've got a great group, I'm telling, joining us today. Rafi Baum, Chris 2333, which is Chris from the future, not Chris Raybon. It's a different Chris. We've got Marcy joining us today. She's fantastic over on our Discord. She does great jobs in the mocks. I've mocked against her a bunch. In the Hausers with us. Felkrain is with us. Foxworth, she's also fantastic. So we've got an elite crew, and it's half PPR style. The draft has begun. Jonathan Taylor goes 1, Christian McCaffrey 2, Justin Jefferson goes 3 to the Beef Man. So go ahead, talk about it. Erickson, you're pleased here because in the 10 team, some would say, well, wide receiver supply and demand a little easier. You still took JJ with the 3 overall pick. Your thoughts?
Well, he's the number 1 ranked wide receiver by the experts. He's my number 1 ranked wide receiver, and that's what I want to get here. I just think that he's in line for a massive year. The new coaching staff coming in, I think he's going to have just 1,500 yards, double-digit touchdowns. I just think he's really safe, so I feel comfortable taking him top 3, even in half PPR scoring in a 10-team league.
With the 4th pick, Marcy takes Dalvin Cook. Then in the Hauser selects Cooper Kupp. Derrick Henry, Chris Raybon, 106. What do you think of the value you're getting in the half PPR here on Henry?
I love it. I mean, this guy carried the ball 27 times a game last year. Looking at their offense this year, I think he's going to have another massive workload. And, Austin Eckler, they'll probably have 3 guys active at running back behind him. So that's the reason I like a guy like Henry is that, it doesn't matter who else is behind him. Like, he's going to get every single touch almost in that backfield. So that's why I usually go Henry over Eckler, especially in half. In full PPR, I would have gone Austin Eckler, though.
Fair enough. All right, Derrick Henry off the board. Phil Crane select Austin Eckler. Joe Mixon, then Matthew Friedman. You are up next with the 109.
I mean, I already took a player there. Do you want me to say who I took, or did you just want to keep going?
See how this works.
I just want to make it as awkward as possible.
How this works on the podcast is I set you up for things to talk about, then you talk about them, and then I move to the next thing. That's
it would have been good if you could have noticed that I was also on the clock for my 2nd pick, and so I was trying to.
Well, by the time it took you to talk about the first one, I think we've already finished 4 rounds. So,
I mean, I hope so. Okay. Jamar Chase at the 109. I can't believe you people, all of you, let Jamar Chase fall to me, because as great as Cooper Kupp is and Justin Jefferson, I think that there is a real chance that Jamar Chase finishes as the number 1 wide receiver, and very happy to get him and then go back-to-back with Stephon Diggs at the 202 and then feel pretty locked in at wide receiver. I normally don't go back-to-back wide receivers in rounds 1 and 2. I normally like to try to hit wide receiver in rounds 3 through 6, but feel pretty good about my wide receivers now, and we'll focus on running backs after this.
All right, we'll see what running backs remain. And for the record, if you passed on Chase, he would not have gotten by me, of course. Everybody knows my love of the wide receivers, but they were all gone, so I doubled up on RB because it's a 10-team half PPR. I want the carries, I want the touches, I want the touchdowns, I want it all. Running back is done now for Joey P. So we shall see all the wide receivers that hopefully make it back to me. I started with Najee Harris, DeAndre Swift. Hopefully the foot is okay, but I certainly like this. I got 2 true number 1s. Then Matthew Friedman went and took Stephon Diggs in his double dip. Alvin Kamara went at 203. Devontae Adams at 204. Raybon, you went tight end. Talk about Travis Kelce at 205.
I just think tight end is one of those positions where if you can get one of those studs, you have to do it. There's going to be a big drop off between Kelce and the tight ends at the back end of that startable tier, like the 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys. So I love getting Kelce, especially in the middle of the second. And now I can kind of focus on wide receiver in 3 through 6, as Friedman talked about.
In the Hauser selects Aaron Jones at 206. So Aaron Jones will not be on the team of Matthew Friedman. I'm sure that's a blow to him. CD Lamb goes at 207. Beefy Pot Energy. I think you're very happy with this 208 selection.
Hell yeah. Saquon Barkley at the end of the 2nd round. Dude, this is the year to be back in on Saquon. Like, he's fully healthy, upgraded offense across the board. I love it.
All right. Saquon Barkley goes at 208 to Erickson, then 209, Javonte Williams, Leonard Fournette at the 210 to Rafi Baum, who then turns right around and selects A.J. Brown, one of Debro's favorites. Debo Samuel, my friend, my good pal from hanging out last night on the CBS show. I mean, literally 5 minutes together. It was still cool. It's cool to hang out with Debo Samuel. 302. So Beefy Pod, there you go. You're back up again. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nick Chubb here. I think that I like him more in the half-point scoring, where you don't necessarily are knocked as much for him not using or being used as much as a receiver in the passing game. And I just think that he's a steady commodity. And I feel like as my RB2, Nick Chubb, the NFL's best pure rusher, which is what fantasy analysts use as guys that we like to compliment, but not talk about how their fantasy upside is limited. That's the case with Nick Chubb. But I feel like in the 3rd round, he's a player that I don't need to worry about. He's going to give me a steady floor every single week.
I want to say, Erickson, we were in a 12-team draft a few weeks ago. I know they all start to blur together, but I think I got Chubb in the 3rd round too, which it seems like you're starting to get a discount on him. That's a trend to be aware of in ADP. A lot of people off of Nick Chubb with the long suspension for Deshaun Watson, but look, they're going to run the football a lot still. Take the discount where you can get it. Mark Andrews goes to Marcy at 304. Then in the Hauser selects Mike Evans at 305. Chris Raybon, what'd you do at 306?
I went with Tyreek Hill, and I really love my team so far because, getting Kelce in the 2nd and Tyreek in the 3rd. I mean, last year, a couple years before that, you would have to go essentially be at the back end of the 1st and draft them at the turn. And now you're getting a little bit of a discount here. So I love it. I think Tyreek still has that wide receiver 1 overall upside. There's just some uncertainty, obviously, with him being on a new team, but talent-wise, he has it. So I love getting him in the middle of the third.
All right, so middle of the third selection there for Tyreek Hill. Then James Conner 307. Foxworth selects Michael Pittman 308. Matthew Friedman stacking those wideouts. Talk about 309 DJ Moore.
Well, I mean, I can't turn down DJ Moore. And the bigger thing is I just look at these running backs, and I wouldn't say that I hate all of them, but I really don't want them on my team, which is why in this range, I'm going to say it's the frozen pond here instead of the running back dead zone. But which is why I normally am trying to go running back early on, so I don't have to have any of these guys on my team. But I was not going to pass up DJ Moore so I could take someone like Ezekiel Elliott. I just wasn't going to do it. So we'll see what I do in round 4. Maybe I go wide receiver again and I just hate my life. But I just look at these running backs and I was not wanting to take any of them in round 3.
Well, I mean, you could also make the argument that in the 10-team league that when you look at running back replacement value on the waiver wire is going to be a little easier. And just in this draft too, the quote unquote dead zone, there are a few guys there that you can pluck out, play some matchups. I think it's a little easier in the full PPR as opposed to the half to do that personally, but I went ahead and took Mike Williams at 310, started up again at 401 with Kyle Pitts in the 4th round. So I continue to just try to take the best players available. I do believe Mike Williams can be a true number 1, so I feel pretty good about that. But it looks like you feel pretty good about the 4th round selection, Matthew Friedman, of Ezekiel Elliott.
I don't feel good about it at all. This is, if this were a real league, I don't know if I would have taken him because I can't do it to myself as a Cowboys fan and as someone who is an ageist. I just don't know if I would want Zeke on my team, but I feel like the value is there. 4th round, I'll go ahead and do it, especially since I have like no exposure to Zeke in any other leagues. It's like, all right, I'll go with it and hope that he stays healthy.
Boy, I didn't know all those things about you. I didn't know you were a Cowboy fan and an ageist. Boy, it's a lot to take in here, especially on live on YouTube. All right, Foxworth selects T. Higgins right after, then Keenan Allen at 404. Chris at 405, you took Terry McLaurin. That's a player we've continuously gone back and forth on. So why was he so appealing to you here in the 4th round?
I just love players who are going to get a large percentage of their team's air yards. And, Terry McLaurin, I mean, he's going to be a target hog. He's going to be a guy who gets a lot of air yards, and he just gets open. There's nothing really not to like about him except his quarterback, which is a big thing. But, I think Carson Wentz is still going to target Terry McLaurin more than most receivers in this league get targeted. So I feel good about it here in the 4th.
All right, after Terry McLaurin at 405, Cortland Sutton at 406, just 2 picks before Erickson. It's just a tragedy. Travis Etienne at 407. Jalen Waddle is instead the selection. So how do you feel about getting Waddle here, and any concerns about the injury he's been dealing with?
I mean, I wish I got Sutton, obviously, as you alluded to. So that's the guy I had queued up, but, the mock drafters here are too sharp to let him fall into my hands at the end of the 4th round. So I still like Waddle. I'm not concerned about the injury. This is standard procedure with teams. They just don't have guys play if they're banged up in any way during the preseason. They don't need to. And I'm taking a guy who broke the rookie receiving record last year for receptions, and he's really talented, and he was a 1st round pick. And I get the Tyreek Hills there, but I'm going to take the guy that's ascending and not getting older and changing teams and not showing the chemistry with a quarterback that he already did it done with. So I like Waddle.
Yeah, Waddle is the steady 2 behind Justin Jefferson. That is a whole lot of targets, a whole lot of catches, even in the half PPR. But again, yards are yards, everybody. Let's not forget that. After Jalen Waddle goes, we get Josh Allen going at 409 to Chris, not Raybon, Chris 2333, just to be clear for everybody not watching on the YouTube. And I wonder why you're not watching on the YouTube. Honestly, it's a lot easier to enjoy this show when you can see the board unfolding right before your very eyes. Breece Hall goes at 410 to Rafi Bomb, who turns right around and takes Allen Robinson. So obviously Matthew Friedman very upset that Robinson does not make it down to him in the 5th. Deontay Johnson at 502. Andrew Erickson, you're back up again. You got 2 running backs. You got 2 wide receivers. What do you have to have next?
I'm going to go back to the wide receiver position. I like a lot of these receivers in the middle rounds. I'm going to go with Gabriel Davis because I know he's not going to come back to me. I know that for a fact. He's not going to be available when I pick again. And it's, look, half PPR. You get a little more juice from guys that are targeted in the end zone. Gabriel Davis is top 5 in end zone targets over the past 2 years. He hasn't even been a full-time player. So in a full-time role in this Bills offense, give me Gabe Davis.
full disclosure, had Kyle Pitts not made it all the way back to me where I was ready to take Davis there, but I thought maybe I'd sneak him through. Didn't happen. Of course, I should know better with this crew. EJ Dillon goes next at 504, Justin Herbert at 505, Chris Raybon. I know you're unhappy with the Gabriel Davis, so what was the pivot pick for you?
I went with DK Metcalf, and in a half PPR, I think he has a little bit more value. Obviously, you're still concerned about the quarterback there as well, but just a young, talented wide receiver who's proven that he has double-digit touchdown upside and gets targeted deep down the field. I'm willing to take a shot on that as my wide receiver 3 in a half PPR.
Brandon Cooks goes next here at 507. Foxworth is on the clock at 508. Friedman, what are you anticipating doing here with your next pick?
I am very likely to take one of these rancid running backs and then hope that you don't take more of them so that I can have a less rancid running back coming back on the next round. So David Montgomery, that's who I'm going with. I'm at least encouraged by the fact that in the third preseason game, he was locked in as a lead back with the first team. So maybe he's able to hold off Khalil Herbert and actually function as a true 3-down back given his skill set. I'm not positive, but at this point, I just need to pile bodies on top of each other.
Yeah, I can understand that. I see where you're coming from here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver. I'm going to double tap again and take Rashad Bateman, another one of my favorite guys. Again, get your people. That's the idea here. I'm sorry, I did not go running back as tempting as it was after you said that to just do it in spite of you. I decided not to. I'm a nice guy today.
Okay,
so it came back to you. So is this the Dameon Pierce pick at 602?
Okay, Raybon, Pierce or Akers?
Ooh, I'd still go Akers, more upside.
Yeah, I hate it. But
even though I'm down on Akers, the Pierce love is getting out of control.
I'm with you. I think it was between those two for me, and I felt like I had to go Akers there, but I don't like it.
Well, I mean, what could you like? You have Zeke, David Montgomery, and Cam Akers. I mean, this is not a team that I feel like you would be super excited about running out there every week.
Oh no, this is a horrible team. And I could see it somehow having a really high grade at the end of this.
Probably. Matthew Friedman at the top of the board, I'm sure. Foxworth selects Chase Edmonds at 603. Michael Thomas goes at 604. Raybon, you're up for 605. No hesitation. Raybon had it ready to go.
I'm going my guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like you said, you got to get your guys. This guy's incredibly talented. They use him out of the backfield. They use him, in short routes, intermediate routes. We saw what he did over the last half of the season. I think for him to be slipping like this, people are so worried about, them getting Chark and Jamison Williams. But those guys are guys who are going to be doing work deep down the field and open it up for Amon-Ra. Because remember, Jared Goff's not just launching the ball down the field. Jared Goff's throwing it underneath to a guy that's going to always be open, and that's Amon-Ra. Wouldn't be surprised if he catches over 100 balls this year.
All right, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And you know what? It's nice to hear somebody say nice things about him finally, Raybon. Thank you. I felt like I was alone on an island for the last 2 months where nobody wants Amon-Ra St. Brown. I want him. It's perfectly good spot there. I mean, you got him as your fourth wide receiver. Yeah. He's your flex guy. I mean, that's tremendous value. And Raybon, for those of you watching, clearly doing the hero RB strategy. So we'll see how that works out for him. In the Hauser selects in 606, J.K. Dobbins, Darnell Mooney at 607. Beefy boy, what you got at 608?
Dameon Pierce. 608.
So the love knows no bounds then. So obviously this guy's moved from somewhere on ADP 40, RB 40 to 32. He's now 30. I don't know. I didn't check in the last hour what it's moved to. So Erickson, they were discussing Akers or Pierce. Were you on that same mindset too? You still take Akers over Pierce, or is that not the case in your opinion?
No, I still take Akers over Dameon Pierce, but we're in this range where you just kind of look at the running backs and I don't know, I really don't want to draft any of them. They all have issues. And again, the issue with Pierce is the offensive ecosystem that he plays in, but we also have untapped potential with him where we haven't really seen him play in the NFL level. So, it takes 1 week for him to get 20 carries in a game. It's like, oh, wow, we should have taken him in round 4 this entire time. And you could still get him in round 6. So I think that's pretty much, I feel comfortable taking him in this range. I wouldn't push him up to round 5. And I think round 4 is probably, I'm out at that price, but I don't think at round 6 I don't think it's an egregious price to pay.
609, Elijah Moore, followed by Juju Smith-Schuster at 610. At 701, Eli Mitchell, then Tony Pollard at 72. Back to you, Mr. Energy.
Yes, back to me. And
you've got 3 wideouts. You've got 3 wide receivers. Basically, the world is your oyster here.
Yeah, well, the time's not on my side, so I needed to make
The
a quick
panic
pick.
pick. That panic pick of Chris Godwin.
Yeah, so it's just the panic pick of I hope that he's not as hurt as he actually may be. So that's kind
Well,
of
here's a
I'm
question
banking
for you
on here.
too. Let's say he's even healthy. In your opinion, I mean, I think we still all have Mike Williams up there, but after Mike Williams, is the pecking order, in your opinion, a healthy Chris Godwin still over Julio Jones?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
just checking.
and I think too, drafting Chris Godwin, there are ways to combat him missing time because you can still draft Russell Gage and Julio Jones if you want later in your draft. So that's something I need to make sure that I do and not like forget to draft one of those guys because they need to fill in. I think Godwin's probably going to miss the first couple weeks, I think, for being optimistic. But
Mhm.
I think just make sure you draft your team with Godwin not in mind as being a starter for week 1.
Right. He's your fourth wide receiver. I think you could do a lot worse there. You could always patch things together for September. Lamar Jackson at 704, George Kittle 705. Raybon, what'd you do at 706?
I went with one of my long shot bets to lead the league in rushing touchdowns, and that's Josh Jacobs. This is my strategy. You kind of mentioned the hero RB. I think this is how you want to treat running back. Like, would I take Ezekiel Elliott? David went around 5, Zeke or 4, David Montgomery in 5, like a bunch of questionable guys in 6. Like, I'd rather just wait and let whoever falls to me fall to me. Like, I don't care who it is. It could be Jacobs, it could be Mitchell, it could be Edwards-Helaire, it could be Miles Sanders, Ramondre. Like, it doesn't matter because now I'm not risking my premium round picks on these guys who are all risky, as Friedman said. There's something you could pick apart about every single one of them. So that's how I kind of been treating running backs, just letting guys fall to me after I get one early on. And then it's just about quantity over quality with these RB2, RB3 types.
Yeah, it certainly is a strategy that I've been looking at as well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire 707, then 708 Patrick Mahomes. Friedman 709. You took a wide receiver here again.
Yeah, by the way, love that Raybon was basically subtweeting my draft and being like, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, toast, David Montgomery.
I took Zeke in round 3 in the action week, so I'm not. It's more Zeke. I looked at Zeke and I was like, you know what? That's why I kind of doubled back. But any running back after that.
No, I mean, to be fair, it's not like I'm loving my draft here. Amari Cooper went with him at 709. I think just too much value to pass up there. Like he is the clear number 1 receiving option. They're going to have to throw the ball to someone. And I think he's still a talented player. He has 5 seasons in 7 years of his career with over 1,000 yards receiving. I just think that the hate for Amari Cooper has gone too far. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is not a great quarterback, but like he's a professional quarterback, multiple seasons starting. And, I think it's a situation where he's got a good offensive line, the best offensive overall situation that he's ever been in. So feel fine with him there. I'm going to take here at 802. I'm going to take one of my guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Drake London.
Like
Drake London. It's aggressive. I don't care. Like, I think he should be a top 30 wide receiver with upside for more. He's the clear number 1 receiver in his offense. He was drafted in the top 10. He's huge. He was super productive in college, entered the NFL early, turned 21 in July, like a ton of boxes that he checks where if you put it all together, it's like, you know what, this guy could be the next Mike Evans. Like he could be the next Larry Fitzgerald. So I'm going to take a shot on him. If I'm a year early, that's totally fine with me.
All right. In between those two selections and Matthew Friedman trying to talk up the Browns offense with Jacoby Brissett under center, I selected Jalen Hurts at 710 and then Christian Kirk at 801 just for the target share. Quick question for you, Friedman, on Drake London. I'm very excited about him as well. In the half PPR, where touchdowns matter just a little bit more, any change in your evaluation? I can understand, like, you love the volume. He's probably going to get a ton of targets, but how much scoring do you think this offense has ahead of it?
It's a good question. It's not that I don't care about it so much, but my thinking is that if, and maybe this is where I get caught up with the DJ Moore fallacy, but my thinking is that if he gets enough yards and enough targets, at some point the touchdowns accompany it. And as much as we like Kyle Pitts, he can't have massive, like super regression to the point where he gets all of the touchdowns. So whatever touchdowns are divided through the air, I think the super majority of those are going to go to Pitts and London.
All right. So we have Drake London going, then Adam Thielen at 803, Darren Waller at 804, and then another running back falls to you, Chris Raybon, at 805. Let's talk about Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, I just love buying the dips on these guys. I think this is how you
Mhm.
do it. People are down on Antonio Gibson. I think there was definitely reason to be, but now you had the unfortunate situation happen with Brian Robinson Jr. He just got placed on the non-football injury list, and yeah, he could come off in week 5, but I don't think that's realistic for a guy who just got shot, unfortunately. And so we really don't know when he's going to be out. And even if he was, just because Gibson is getting a different role doesn't mean he's automatically going to be like disappeared out of the offense. I think they just wanted to not make him a guy who's going to get, 18 carries a game, probably for the best. But we've seen guys like Austin Eckler and Christian McCaffrey even, get like 10 to 12 carries and still be very productive running back. So for me to get Gibson in the 8th round, a guy who's been drafted as high as the 3rd or 4th for a lot of the offseason, I think it's great value.
All right. So after Antonio Gibson, Devonta Smith goes, and Brandon Ayuk at 807. Big pot energy. You selected Alan Lazard at 808.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is his quarterback, and I think he has double-digit touchdown upside. I know that people will argue that he's never commanded targets. Well, you try to command targets when Devontae Adams is out there on the field too. It's not easy to do. So I like the touchdown potential with Lazard.
I like that yelling at the sky. You see how hard it is. I like that. Look at getting old and cranky here. I like it. Very good. Very good. You're in the right room for that with Friedman and myself. That's for sure. We're becoming like Stadler and Waldorf from the Muppets here on this program. Ramondre Stevenson at 809. Dalton Schultz at 810. Starting up the 9th round, Kyler Murray at 901. Then Chris 2333's got another pick here. So tell me, Erickson, what are you hoping to snag here with your 903?
Well, one of my strategies I like to do with the elite quarterbacks is draft the last one that's available. I have a top 6 that I feel really good about, and if whoever is the last one there is the one that I usually will take. In the 10 team, I like to have a quarterback that can make a difference. And actually, I don't know. I guess my guy got took, so I'm not going to take a quarterback.
That was
Psych.
Kyler Murray. Is that the difference maker you were waxing poetically about?
No, I don't know. I didn't
Was it
see when,
Jalen Hurts that I took? I mean,
oh, it was Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I didn't see that you
oh
took
yeah,
him
that was
because
me like a round ago, bro.
okay,
Just
well, you never talk about drafting Jalen
well,
Hurts,
I
so that's
tried,
why I
but the
was
problem was
shocked.
Freeman, did 3 minutes on Drake London, and it just all got
Oh,
lost in the shuffle
I
you
did
there.
get lost in the Drake London love.
It was totally worth it, though.
Especially now to see him not know. I would like to take Jonathan Taylor. Is he still available? Is he available still? You became that guy just now in the mock in the last one.
Yeah.
But the record too, I really wanted to take Drake London, but I already had Kyle Pitts, and how many Falcons can you have? Seriously. But I love the Kadarius Toney pick instead at 903. I mean, at this point, you wait on quarterback, right? In a 10-team league, why not? If you can't get a difference maker, then to heck with it.
Yeah, exactly. That Kadarius Toney was the guy I was looking at in case, the quarterback play didn't end up working out. Because it's a play on upside. Like Toney for me is either going to be a top 15 guy or be useless. I really think it's not like he's going to be in like a middling receiver. It's like he's either going to be the number 1 receiver on the Giants or he's going to get hurt and never be heard from again. So, but as a bench receiver, as my wide receiver 5, like those are the shots I like taking at wide receiver. So Kadarius Toney it is.
All right. After Kadarius Toney, Kareem Hunt, Damian Harris, Rashad Penny goes to you, Chris Raybon. My goodness, what a run just happened here in running backs.
Yeah, this is my strategy, so I got Jacobs, Gibson, and now Rashad Penny. And you talk about upside, Rashad Penny obviously misses games, and as my 4th running back, that shouldn't matter as much. But we saw when he was healthy, he was able to lead the league in rushing. So again, if you wait on running back, I just think you get to take these shots on upside that, you wouldn't feel good about if you were getting these guys at a different part in the draft. So I always tend to like my teams better when I'm not really going too hard at running back early on. Like I just think it shapes up a lot better.
All right. So after Rashad Penny, Miles Sanders, Cordero Patterson, and then Friedman, you selected a running back at 909.
Yeah, Devin Singletary. I was hoping to get Patterson. That was the guy I had queued up, and didn't work out. But Singletary, we saw him work, pretty cleanly as the lead back there for the Bills. And then you're here on the clock, so I'm going to kick it back to you, Joe. I want you to be sure to get your time to speak.
I know Friedman hates when I talk on the podcast. What a crazy notion of talking on a show where it's audio. Rondell Moore is my selection at 902. A little upside there. Ken Walker at 1001. Same thing. I think he's dropping too far. And then you're back on for 1002.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon, who I think is a high floor, high upside guy to be able to get this late in the draft. Obviously, he's going to be working in a little bit with Javonte Williams. He's not going to be leading, but I think he's still too good not to get usage. And then if Javonte Williams misses time, Melvin Gordon, I think, slots in as a low-end RB1 right away. So pretty happy to get him here.
After Melvin Gordon at 10:02, we have James Cook at 10:03, Hunter Renfrow at 10:04. Chris Raybon, who did you select at 10:05 as you continue to pluck running backs?
I went with Darrell Henderson, and this is just kind of a play on what we've been hearing in camp. Sean McVay has talked about how Henderson is right there with Akers in terms of splitting first team reps. The beat reporters have kind of backed that up. So I think, high upside offense where if the starter or, maybe they're even 1A, 1B goes down, I think he has even more upside. But I think he's one of the last of the guys that is going to have a pretty defined week one role in his backfield. That's going to include like some carries and not just catches.
All right, another receiver run now happening after the crazy 9th round RB run. Chris Olave at 10:06, DeAndre Hopkins at 10:07. Now, here's an interesting one. This guy has slid down a lot of draft boards recently in terms of ADP. Treylon Burks, tell me why you are making this investment here at this point.
Because I'm buying the dip. Because he's a first round pick, yards after the catch machine, and his role is only going to increase as the season goes on. Like the Titans need Treylon Burks if they're going to be a functioning offense this season. They have Derrick Henry, yes, but Robert Woods, older receiver. Nick Westbrook, like this seems like the Olabisi Johnson thing all over again. Oh, Olabisi Johnson's running ahead of Justin Jefferson. Like these veteran players do not stay ahead of these rookies for that long. And if it takes 1 or 2 weeks, sure. But Treylon Burks is my wide receiver 6. So I don't need him to hit the ground running right away. I'm excited for him down the stretch. So that's why I like Burks.
All right. So Treylon Burks. And again, talk about being buried on the big pod energy receiving depth chart. Jefferson, Waddle, Davis, Godwin, Alan Lazard, Kadarius Toney, Treylon Burks. So it's not like you need him to be good. And if he is, that's a trade chip for you. Tyler Lockett at 10:09, Nyheim Hines at 10:10, Sky Moore at 11:01, then 11:02, Dallas Goedert. Back to you, one of my favorite guys out of my queue and onto Erickson's team, Khalil Herbert at 11:03.
Yeah, because Dave Montgomery is not good. So I think Khalil Herbert.
Did you hear that, Friedman?
Just
want to make sure you heard that.
I mean, you can't say with a straight face that you'd rather draft Dave Montgomery in round 4 versus Khalil Herbert in round 11. I don't know.
Yeah, I can say that actually. There's a chance that Khalil Herbert doesn't start any games and doesn't have any more than 8 touches in any game this year. Like there's a chance that happens.
What do you think that chance is, though?
I mean, that didn't happen last year. He had more than 8 touches in more than a game last year.
Yeah, that was just because of injury, though. You're basically saying I'm hoping that David Montgomery gets injured, which is fine. But Khalil Herbert, I don't think has much like standalone value. It's primarily contingent value, which that's fine. But there's a chance that gives you very little during the season.
Okay, after that was a fun discussion about Khalil Herbert. That got heated about Khalil Herbert and all the incredible Bears offense we're going to see this year. Alexander Madison at 11:04, Michael Carter 11:05, and then Raybon, as you can tell by Matthew Friedman yelling into the void, selected Julio Jones at 11:06. Raybon, talk about it.
Yeah, I think this is the part of the draft where once you have your starters set up, you're going for upside. And, Julio Jones, we're down on him now, and there's reason to be, obviously, but you look at the offense he's in, you look at what this team has done, they pluck Antonio Brown out of nowhere, and he balls when he's on the field. Rob Gronkowski out of retirement, he balls. Like, this is just what they do with Tom Brady. Like he loves these veteran guys. He's going to get them involved. And I don't really need him to do much. I got my top 4 receivers by the 6th round. So this is just a pure upside play where if it doesn't work out, he's back on the waiver wire by week 3.
All right. So without Julio Jones, we have Joe Burrow going next at 11:07, Chase Claypool at 11:08. And then Friedman, let's talk about your pick at 11:09.
All right. Well, I really wanted Julio Jones in spirit.
I couldn't tell.
In spirit, he's the guy I took here, but George Pickens is a fine consolation play. Like I think he has the upside of everything that we saw him do in college. His freshman year there, totally dominant, 4.5-star recruit entering college. I think if not for some off the field concerns and then the ACL tear early in college for him, he would have been a first rounder. But a ton of upside for him here. And then I came back with Jahan Dotson. We're just going to skip over you. Joe, if you don't mind. No, so I went with Jahan Dotson on the way back, who I think is super locked in as the number 2 receiver for the Commanders.
I love both of the picks, despite all of the shade you continue to throw at me anyway. It's hurtful. It's hurtful, but I'll somehow move on. Garrett Wilson for me at 11-10. I think one of the forgotten wide receivers. Remember how like great he was in college, everybody? Remember how he was like the most polished guy? Everyone's talking about Garrett Wilson, Garrett Wilson. I understand he's on the Jets, but at this point in time, I mean, it's like 5th wide receiver, 6th wide receiver. Okay. And then Kenneth Gainwell I'm using the same strategy that Andrew Erickson's using on Khalil Herbert. I just don't believe in Miles Sanders. So Kenneth Gainwell hopefully can get working in this offense, but Dotson and Pickens, certainly nice picks as well. I like the dynasty roster you're building, Friedman, here with Drake London, Pickens, and Dotson's team's going to be really good in 3 years, as long as Zeke is still playing. Rashad White at 1203, James Robinson at 1204, Jacoby Myers at 1205, Chris Raybon. He is more of a PPR machine. This is half PPR. How do you feel about the selection?
Yeah, so at this point, I'm just trying to get guys who are like, I already got my upside guy in Julio. There's still some rookies, but I don't think I need that yet. Jacoby Myers, you mentioned it. He's a PPR machine, but I still think there's some touchdown regression there, and he's likely to be the number 1 receiver on his team. And that's another thing that I think you got to look for late in these drafts is, okay, like Jacoby Myers, yeah, PPR machine, 5 catches a game. Like Friedman alluded to earlier, touchdowns kind of, they're the high variance stats. So yeah, it's a gamble, but again, he's my wide receiver 6. So time to take a gamble here.
We'll see how that variance pays off. TJ Hawkinson at 1206, then Tyler Boyd at 1207. Another wide receiver for Andrew Erickson, Russell Gage at 1208.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it earlier on the show that I took Chris Godwin, so I wanted to get some Buccaneers insurance. Now, Gage is also dealing with an injury, so don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. But, before the Julio signing, before he got hurt himself, I mean, Russell Gage was being drafted in like the 6th round, like coming off a career year. Now he's free. Like, he's a free guy, and if he's out there starting in a slot for Tom Brady-led offense, like, I'm going to want a piece of that, especially while Godwin comes back from his injury.
All right, Erickson, you are on the clock right here. You have stacked Godwin and Gage, and Brady is available. Are you just going for it?
No, Friedman, thank you for telling me that. That sounds like a very, very good idea. I'm going to go with that.
Why are you helping the grades? What's going
on
here?
I just wanted to see if he was gonna bring it back. Like just slam it on us.
I think this is his way of making up for kind of hiding the Jalen Hurts selection before and kind of burying the lead. So that was actually very nice of you, Friedman. See, I don't care what Raybon says about you. You're okay.
That was funny. But no, I had nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. That was total user error on the part of Erickson.
Wow. Indeed. I take all of what I just said back instantly. So we had Devontae Parker at 1210, Tyler Algier at 1301, Marquez Valdes-Scantling 1302, then Erickson selected Tom Brady at 1303, Jamal Williams at 1304, in the Hauser up next at 1305, Raybon at 1306. What's on the board, in your opinion, that is very exciting to you at this point? Because it's certainly not a very exciting time in this draft.
Oh, I know. There's one player that's very exciting.
Yeah.
No.
Boom.
Yeah.
Got him.
Trey Lance is the last exciting player.
Yeah.
Dang. This is why you wait on quarterback, because you can get, what is this, round 11?
Yeah.
13.
Round 12. Oh, 13. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I just got Trey Lance. Yeah, I just got Trey Lance.
It's also Christmas, Raybon. Did you know that too?
I have Derrick Henry, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill, and I still got Trey Lance at round 13. This is why you wait on quarterbacks. I don't really have nothing else to say.
Yeah, can I say something right here? The real reason that I told Beefy Pod Energy to take Tom Brady was because I was hoping Trey Lance would make it back to me. See, that was what was happening.
Now I saw on Twitter you said that Joffrey was your favorite fictional character from Game of Thrones, and now I understand it. I just, you're like, it's like, why don't we just give Friedman a crossbow in the middle of this episode? We might as well. Jamal Williams at 1304, Russell Wilson 1305, Trey Lance 1306, Christian Watson 1307, Foxworth selects Jarvis Landry at 1308. All right, Friedman, the pick is yours. What do you got at 1309?
This is, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and be a little bit bold here. And I'm going to take the guy that I would have been thrilled to get in the 13th round a week ago, Brian Robinson. I think that there is a pretty good chance that he comes back at some point this year, maybe within the first, 6 weeks. And I think once that happens, he has a decent chance to lead the backfield. So to get a potential lead back this far in the draft, I think offers good value, and I'm going to need it because at some point, Ezekiel Elliott and David Montgomery and Cam Akers are just going to fall off the cliff and disappoint me heinously. So that's what I'm doing.
Tell you,
did we just draft each other's backup running backs? Like, for the
did we just become best friends?
Like we drafted a lot of each other's backup running backs, hoping that the other person's running back gets hurt.
I love the spite store. I'm a big fan. If you didn't take Robinson, I was. He was already locked and loaded for me. Instead, I took 2 wide receivers, Joshua Palmer. He's my insurance policy a little bit for Mike Williams, just in case. Mike Williams does have a tendency now and again to miss some time in the NFL. KJ Osborne, 1401. Then Nico Collins, 1402. Back to you, Friedman. So Nico Collins, a guy who's getting a lot of buzz. Had a lot of buzz last year, but we all know a lot of issues going on. Do you think Nico Collins in year 2 can put it all together?
Yeah, I mean, I think he has a shot. He's going to be on the field, playing a lot of snaps, running a lot of routes. The team cut Chris Conley, who was their number 3 receiver. We saw in the preseason.
Re-signed. He's re-signed. He got re-signed.
Oh, re-signed. Okay.
Yeah. Vested veteran.
Yeah, that's right. Vested veteran. So, but anyway, I think it's still like a sign that Nico Collins is very much locked in as the number 2 receiver there. And like even as a rookie on a bad offense, he was pretty decent last year whenever he was out there starting. So I don't think he's going to have like 1,000 yards or anything like that, but like he's got a chance. And if Brandon Cook suffers an injury, then I think Nico Collins could really take off.
Dawson Knox at 1403, J.D. McKissick at 1404, and then another running back. That's what Chris Raybon does. He just scoops them all up there. Mark Ingram at 1405. How useful do you think he can be this year, Ingram?
Very useful if Kamara misses time. Probably not that useful if he doesn't, but that's why he's the last position player I'm going to draft. I just want to have these kind of lottery ticket running backs on my bench. And for what it's worth, last year, Ingram, once he joined the team, they weren't giving Kamara that same workload that they were when, it was Kamara and a whole bunch of just the guys. So going with Ingram here, on the hope that, maybe Kamara misses some time. Maybe they do work Ingram in again for those 8 to 10 touches and he stays relevant. But just kind of a lottery ticket here.
DJ Chark goes next at 1406. Isaiah Spiller at 1407. Big Pod Energy, you got your tight end and Zach Ertz at 1408.
Yeah, I think I was the last person to take a tight end. Correct me if I'm wrong, but no, Zach Ertz. So. I think I got the last tight end. So yeah, when you would go late round tight end, Zach Ertz was a top 5 tight end without Hopkins at the end of last year. Hopkins is out for the first 6 weeks. So Zach Ertz, I expect to be a fringe tight end 1 to start the year as long as he's healthy.
Okay. Moving on here, Zamir White at 1409, Isaiah Pacheco at 1410. Now we're going to get our kickers and defenses here. So as we go through, I want to ask you this question too. Isaiah Spiller went right before you, Erickson. I know you're actually, I'll let you pick. I'll ask this of Chris Raybon, our guest here. Do you care at all about the Sony Michel signing, with the Chargers earlier this week?
In the sense of who it affects, like
in the sense of does it affect Isaiah Spiller at all, in your opinion?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean, more so I think it was obviously Roundtree was just not a guy that they were thrilled with, so they waived him. So really, he's replacing him. But Spiller, we already heard, was behind Joshua Kelly,
right?
And Michel has been a guy who he's kind of signed with these different teams out of nowhere, but he's gotten pretty substantial roles when he has. So I do think it is a worry for Isaiah Spiller.
Okay, we have the defenses now coming off the board. Denver Broncos at 1501, Justin Tucker 1502. Big Pot Energy, you took, of course, San Francisco 49ers at 1503. That's a very popular choice for you, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they have a nasty defensive line, and they're playing the Bears week 1. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to Justin Fields in week 1, but I think the 49ers are going to get after him, and I like to stream defenses most of the time, but the 49ers, good matchups, and they're good real-life defense.
Okay, let's fly through these. The Bills D, the Bucks D at 1505. Then at 1506, the New Orleans defense, 1506. A little bit of an older unit in some spots here. Any upside you think still for this New Orleans defense?
Oh yeah, I think this is probably going to be the best defense in the league. I mean, they have studs at every single level of the defense. On the D line, they have Cam Jordan. They have hold on, let me take my kicker here.
That's very important. Chris, don't
okay.
forget. And we finally did kicker because everyone said you never do a show with a kicker. So here we go. We did it for you today, everybody.
But yeah, you got the Honey Badger back there. You got Lattimore, linebacker Demario Davis, one of the best in the league. And they start the year with the Atlanta Falcons. So even if I have to drop them, I'm getting one good week out of them.
Tyler Bass, 1507. Colts defense, 1508. David Njoku goes at 1509. Friedman says, to heck with your defenses, to heck with your kickers.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be a top 10 tight end. I was the last guy to take a tight end here, so happy to get him there. And then circled back on the flip side with Dak Prescott as the last quarterback drafted.
That's right. He refuses to play by the rules. He's such a bad boy of fantasy football, Matthew Friedman. New England Patriots for me and Matt Gay. Then we have Cole Kmet at 1603. The Rams at 1604. You took Harrison Butker. Then Koo goes McPherson 1607. Big Pot Energy. I know you're excited to take a kicker. Maybe you won't, though. Maybe you'll go off the board like Friedman, too, as the Spite store stays open. What did you do? Oh, you did take a kicker. Daniel Carlson. And we got two more kickers to go next here. And then we can get our grades. Oh, actually, no, Pat Fryermuth at 1609. I got a C minus. There you go. A C minus in the 10 team. There you go. C plus, Raybon. See, we went and got our guys, and this is the thanks we get for that. How about you guys? Friedman, what was the score? I bet it's probably an A plus.
94 out of 100.
He did. He won. He won the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, spoiler alert, Matthew Friedman, David Montgomery, Ezekiel Elliott. There you have it, folks. This is how you win. This is it. Draft Wizard says Matthew Friedman is the winner of this draft. He is number one. Marcy is right behind him at Marcy O at 1,089 and the number two spot. And in Big Pot Energy, you are third here. Very nice. So what was your draft grade? Had to be an A minus or B plus, right?
B plus, yeah, 88 out of 100.
All right, so Raybon and I are towards the bottom here. Let's fly through the rest of this really quick. Let's talk about Friedman. I mean, come on, expert opinions. I have to imagine that you must have loved this draft here yourself, right? Who were the experts that loved it?
Let me look here. Pick the experts. I mean, let's be honest, Joe. I don't really care so much about what the expert opinions are on this, but I don't honestly. I'm not one of the people who likes this draft. It's weird, but I don't know. I mean, I think I just took value on it. You know, every time, like Jamar Chase at number 9. Yeah, I'm going to take that. Stephon Diggs at 202. I'll take that. And so with the running backs who fell down the board, I don't think we love any of them, but they were all values in rounds 4 through 6. So I think it was basically just taking value where I could get it. And if you do that, you're probably going to have a high draft grade.
All right, Chris Raybon, let's take a look at your roster. You've got Trey Lance, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, Travis Kelce, Gibson, New Orleans Saints, Harrison Butker, then Amon-Ra St. Brown on the bench, Penny on the bench, Julio, Darrell Henderson, Jacoby Myers, Mark Ingram. Is this a roster you'd go to war with, Chris?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like this is just what I do. I just fade running back after, like in that middle round, in that frozen pond. But really, I think the key for me was just getting being able to get Travis Kelce as well. I think that's what kind of really makes me feel good about it. You know, if you just kind of go with a bunch of wide receivers, there's a point where you're not going to be able to start all of them. Your team's going to look great, but getting Kelce, I think, is really what gives my team a chance.
All right, Erickson, let's take a look at your roster here. Tom Brady, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Jefferson, Waddle, Gabriel Davis, Zach Ertz, Dameon Pierce, 49ers D, Carlson's the kicker, Chris Godwin, wide receiver, Alan Lazard, Kadarius Toney, great depth there, Khalil Herbert, Traylon Burks, Russell Gage, a little light at running back in terms, actually no, because you had Pierce in the flex spot, my apologies. So look, this is a pretty well-balanced roster. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I do like my roster. I wish I had Colton Sutton, but because that's just like the chef's kiss to any of the rosters that I end up drafting. But overall, I got a good balance of some safety with a guy like Nick Chubb, where you're chasing a higher ceiling with Saquon Barkley, where there's obviously a scarier floor. So I feel like I have a good balance. Getting Justin Jefferson, at the number 3 pick, I think works, and then just kind of waiting on tight end and waiting on quarterback, like getting Tom Brady as my QB, getting Zach Ertz. Feel confident about those guys producing early on. So that strategy, especially in a 10-team league, it's important, I think, to commit to it, because the fact that you can get some of these quarterbacks like we got so late, it's just so important that, even though I thought about taking Hurts, I think much earlier on, I don't necessarily regret the fact that I didn't get him because of how late quarterbacks went. I mean, Friedman got Dak Prescott in the 16th round. And I know I like Hurts more than Prescott, but by a 10-round difference, that's tough to beat.
Understandably so. I think Matthew Friedman cheated too, because I'm pretty sure like Marcy really won this draft. I just want to say, Marcy, congratulations, because you did not take a kicker. You did not take a defense. I think you should be disqualified personally. Those are the rules. But Friedman's roster: Prescott, Cam Akers, Zeke, then Jamar Chase, Diggs, DJ Moore, Njoku, David Montgomery in the flex. No kicker, no defense. So someone's got to go. Devin Singletary, Drake London, Melvin Gordon, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, Brian Robinson, Jahan Dotson, Nico Collins. That's a lot of talent. It's funny. I feel like this team is either on the other side of their career or their career hasn't started yet. You getting that feeling from that roster?
Yeah, it's a lot of upside, and then hopefully some high floor with some of these guys. I do got to say, looking at this, I love Raybon's draft, especially getting Julio Jones late in round 11 and then Trey Lance in rounds 13. I feel like crushed the draft, and as he mentioned earlier, Travis Kelce in round 2. Like for me, that's the pick that nails it. And with Derrick Henry anchoring in round 1, that allows him to go really heavy on wide receiver in rounds 3 through 6, where he just totally crushed.
All right, I want to remind everybody, too, that we're giving away that Keenan Allen jersey. So if you haven't already, tell us who you like. What teams did you think did well here? Keenan Allen jersey can be yours thanks to our friends at PristineAuction.com. All you have to do is be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros. And, of course, drop a comment in the chat here. Let us know how you feel about the rosters. Who's the real winner? Did Friedman cheat? The answer is yes. Go ahead, put that in the comments, please. And that Keenan Allen autographed Chargers jersey can be yours. Again, that's from PristineAuction.com. My roster real quick: Jalen Hurts, Najee Harris, DeAndre Swift, then Mike Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Rashad Bateman, Kyle Pitts, Christian Kirk. Pats defense, Matt Gay, and then we have Ken Walker, Kenneth Gainwell. I only like running backs with the name Ken. Garrett Wilson, Rondell Moore, KJ Osborne, and Josh Palmer. So a roster I feel okay about. But again, did not reward me for taking Kyle Pitts, Draft Wizard. Did not reward me for Jalen Hurts or the 2 RB1s I have on my roster. So go figure. Again, it was great to hang out with you guys and do one last mock draft. You can follow Chris Raybon on Twitter at Chris Raybon and check out all his amazing work at Action Network HQ and, of course, Fantasy Labs. Chris, you're one of the best in the biz, man. I know it's a busy time of year. We appreciate you hanging out with us today.
Thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure.
All right. And I think we're just wrapping up. And before we do, I want to remind everybody, go run some mock drafts of your own at Draft Wizard, fantasypros.com/draftwizard. That's the place to go. You can run all of the draft sims yourself. You can go join the mock draft lobby. It is live. Go check it out at fantasypros.com/draftwizard today and get ready for all of your drafts. That'll do it for us, of course, but the story of the game goes on. For Chris Raybon, Andrew Erickson, and Matthew Friedman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.